Hey folks, apologies for the long absence here. Just haven't really had the time to sit down and put some games together or do some editing or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully try to get back to some semblance of normality now. Maybe a bit more frequent not streams, but uploads at least in that case. Today I'm just trying for something different. It's been a long time since I sat down to play some of the Lord of the Rings LCG. So one of my favourite quests in this, which is probably being a bit basic, is the Shadow of the Past. Or sorry, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, Shadow of the Past. The first one from the Black Riders set. So yeah, I'm just going to give this a go for today. Hopefully it won't be too long as I'm actually on some time constraints. But yeah, let's see what we can do. All right, so this is a fairly standard Hobbit deck. Yeah, I put this together a while back, but to be fair, it's probably very similar to a lot of other Hobbit decks that are out there. You're looking at 24 different allies, 2 Barleymans, 2 Faramir, 2 Farmer Maggots, 3 Gandalf, and of course we'll be looking to use Sneak Attack in that instance as well. Leowine, Gondorian Spearman, Grimbold, Guard of the Citadel, Hennemart, River Song, only one. I am actually limiting this to a single core box from the initial run of the game. So you can see there's only 2 sneak attacks and 1 copy of Hennemart, River Song, alongside a couple of other odd numbers, or should I say even numbers. Now that's weird. That shouldn't be in there. Doom 3. Interesting. I don't know why I put that in there. But yeah, so it's basically building out a bit of the hobbits before they have to go on and do anything else. Really and truly, if we get Hennemart River Song out early, which has happened in a few games that I've been playing previous to this, then the game does kind of become a little bit of a cakewalk. And of course, if we can get Faramir out, that's a willpower boost. So, with that said, let's jump in and see how we are doing. Right, what I will do first, and hopefully people won't judge me for this, I am going to enable turn management and automate the phase management as well. I just prefer that for organising the game. So, with that, I love this. I do like Daeron's Ruins. Farmer Maggot's okay. Faint is alright. Steward Gondor, absolutely. And Hobbitlook, that's kind of where I want to be, if I'm honest. Maybe a few more powerful things might be better. But I think I'm alright with this as a first hand. Yeah, I think we'll stick with this. Let's move forward. So, as this is telling us, you can control and press right to advance the phase. We're now in the resource phase. We've drawn a Gandalf and everyone gets their +1. Now, I suppose I should look at this first. Setup, set the Bucklebury Ferry aside, out of play, add 1 Black Rider to the staging area and make Bag End the active location. It already does that for us automatically, so we're in a good position. Shuffle the encounter deck. For the sake of it, I will, in fact, shuffle the counter deck. And you can take my word that I haven't stacked this in any way, so I am, yeah. That would kind of be, I suppose, against the nature of the game. So this comes in and we have to quest it for 1, and that will push it into the next quest phase. When a player fails a hide test, each Nazgul enemy in the staging area engages that player. Trigger forced effects after resolving this effect. The players cannot advance until Bag End is in the victory display. So, alright guys, apologies there. I actually just did a quick edit, if only to pull up this part of the rules, which is the hide rules. Okay, so in this instant, hide X is a new keyword in this scenario. When an encounter card with the hide X keyword is revealed, the player who revealed this card must make a hide test. If the encounter card with the hide X keyword also has the when revealed or forced effect, the hide test is resolved before resolving the rest of the card. So the hide test in this in this game is when a player makes a hide test, that player may exhaust any number of characters they control to commit those characters to the hide test. Then the players discard the top X cards of the encounter deck. X is equal to hide X, or the hide X value. If the total willpower of the characters committed is greater than or equal to the total threat of the discarded cards, then the hide test is successful. If the total willpower of the characters committed is less than the total the total threat of the discard cards, then the players failed. After the test resolves, characters are no longer committed to it. Hide tests interrupt the turn sequence and open a new action window after the total threat of the discarded cards has been determined. Players can initiate actions. Once the hide test is resolved, play continues as normal. So greater than or equal to is really what we're aiming for on the hide tests, but hopefully we can avoid them. Well, we'll see. I know we have to at least take 2. So, with that said, let's begin. Right, so we are in the resource phase of the game. We're going to go over to planning, and the first thing I'm going to do is play a Daeron's Ruins. I draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card from my hand. Draw 2, lovely. And then I must get rid of 1. What is the likeliest one to get rid of? We have the 2 feints. They're pretty good, but I think the other things are better for now. So I'm going to get rid of 1 of the feints. Then the next thing I'm going to do is use the lower resource here on Pippin to play the fast hitch, which will go on Sam. Sam is kind of going to be our MVP in this, which is probably the most boring strategy you're going to see, but hopefully we'll do all right. So, with that done, we've got very little else we can do. I don't want to really threat out of this for now. Not until we've built out a little bit of a board state. And we don't want too many allies coming in prior to phase 2 for reasons that hopefully you'll see shortly. But let's have a look-see. Let's move forward to the questing phase. And now we're going to commit. Now, there's 4 out already. I'll just put that in here. Now, worst case scenario, another one of these guys comes out. Right, if another one of these guys comes out, we have to go for a hide 2. And we'll be at 8 threat as well. So we still want people open for the hide test if that does come in. But with that said, we also don't want to threat out either. So I think I'll put Sam in for 3. And I might put Frodo in for 2. So that's 5. We may only make 1 threat here, but worst case scenario, we have a hide coming out. And we'd like to build out a bit more as we go forward. So, let's move to the reveal. And in this case, our reveal is a piercing cry, which is a peril, which means only I can do it. But since it's a 1-player game, that doesn't really mean anything. 1 reveal, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Nazgul enemy. Either add it to the staging area or put it into play engaged with the first player, and then shuffle the encounter deck. Excuse me. So, I think we'll take... Let's get a Nazgul here. We'll grab one of these guys and we'll put it into the thing. Now, let me debate this for a second. If he goes in here, he's being added to the staging area, so he isn't in fact revealing, so we can avoid the height too. However, that is going to go up to 8, which means we're going to go up by 3 threat. Now, on the other hand, if we take him as an enemy, he will ready Sam. Sam will be getting a +1. Meaning we'll probably be going up to 6. We'll be making some progress. And then, of course, Mary can hit back, and we have a feint in play too. So let's say we have Mary hitting for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Sam hitting for an additional 2. That will be 6 in play. Or that will be 6 against his 4, doing 2 damage. And if we were able to get Gandalf out, which we mightn't be able to do straight away, that will kill him. And of course, Pippin his response will go out after you engage an enemy with an engagement cost higher than your threat. Draw a card. So I think I'm going to play it a bit nasty. We're going to take that. Ready, Sam. He gets a +1. So we're now at 6. So 6 to 4. We have done 2. So there's no further things to be done in this instance. 5 attack. Yeah, nothing to be done there. Nothing else here. Shuffle the encounter deck. Yeah, I think I already did that. But just for posterity, let's do that. That's done. And this, well, we won't discard until we resolve. So it's been resolved. Oh, and of course, draw a card. 2 Gandalfs, lovely. So, how do I feel about this? We have done 6 to 4. 2 goes on to this. And this plays no longer, that's gone. And then we go to the travel phase. There's nowhere to travel to, and we're still at bag end. The encounter, obviously, no issue there. We're now on to the combat phase. So first things first, this guy gets his shadow card. Now I am rather tempted to feint this guy, because we could do some damage here, I think. So I think we will, in fact, use the 1 resource here to play feint. Choose an enemy engaged with a player. That enemy cannot attack that player this phase. So he's engaged with me. The feint has stopped him from attacking. With that said, we can now attack back. So Mary is hitting for 4. Sam is going to hit for an additional 2. Isn't that correct? Yeah, he gets +1 until the end of the round. So that's 6. And we might as well get Pippin in there as well for 7. 7 to his 4 does 3 damage. And we are now putting too many arrows in play. Any actions? Not really. Let's move on to the refresh phase. And we're good to go. All right. So the resource phase has added 1, and we have received a winged guardian. We can't do much with it yet, but let's see what else we can do. Let's go to planning. Well, the first thing we're going to do, Sam is going to use his 2 resources to get the Steward of Gondor into play, and that attaches to him. We will exhaust it to add 2 to his pool. Then it might be worth getting the Hobbit Cloak out. Or we could just brute force Gandalf in. I mean, if we brute force Gandalf in, then he's out of play. I think actually that shadow card should be discarded as well. Which it was a crawling towards him. Okay, interesting. Maybe it's a brute force for Gandalf because we have nothing else going in. Like, Sam could weather an attack. Anyway. No, I think I'm going to play it safe and be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for Gandalf to come into play. After Gandalf enters play, we'll deal 4 damage to one enemy. We'll deal it to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. That does defeat him. Excellent. And there's nothing else that I want to or can do at this point. So let's move forward. Let's commit to the quest. Now, I think I'm going to do the same again. I think I'm going to use Frodo. And I think I'm going to use Sam to commit 5 out here. Isn't that 5? 3, 4, 5. And then we might bring him down, defend with Sam, or defend with Gandalf, and then maybe punch him again. We'll see how we go. We'll see how that works out. Might not be the best idea, because if Sam is defending for 2, he's hitting for 5, we could get slammed pretty badly. But maybe Gandalf could take the hit, and we'll see where we go from there. So let's do that. We've committed 5 to the quest. We're going to reveal the card. The card in this instance is the Woody End, with 1 threat. While Woody End is the active location, reduce each hide X value by 1. Oh, that's not bad. Now, unfortunately, we are 5 to 5, so we have made no progress. So let's move forward. We've resolved, can't travel anywhere, and the encounter card. So let's engage this guy. Let's get him out of the staging area. That's going to ready up Sam. All right. Now, can Sam weather a hit? I don't think he can. Like, he's defending currently for 2 against. Yeah, he'll be annihilated. So no, we won't do that just yet. What we will do is maybe have Gandalf take the hit. So the encounter card is done, and of course then Pippin will draw us a card as well. Oh, Rosie, lovely. So let's now. I'm getting a small bit ahead of myself. We're in here. He's getting a shadow card. Gandalf is going to defend. In this instance, there is no shadow effect. So 5 against Gandalf's 4 will do 3 damage. Lovely. And then we'll punch back here with 1. Sorry, what was I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 against this guy's 4, and we've done an additional 3 damage. There are no actions I want to take for the remainder of the game, or the combat phase. We'll get rid of that shadow card, and we'll move forward to refresh. Gandalf is going to leave play, and then we're on to resource for turn number 3. Now another fast hitch has come out. That's quite good. But what else would I like to do? All right, let's move to the planning phase. We're going to use the Steward of Gondor to give Sam 2 more. Then I'm going to use one of those to give him the Hobbit Cloak. And the Hobbit Cloak reads, attached to a Hobbit hero, limit once per hero. 1 per hero, excuse me. Attached hero gets +2 when defending against an attack made by an enemy with an engagement cost higher than your threat. So that will at least give him a boost here in these instances. Now, so that's 1 done. We could get Rosie out too, which may not be a bad play. She should stay in play for a while, and she could also act as a defender if it comes to it, to chump block. Or maybe, well, the Winged Guardian might not be a good play at this point. Do we have enough for another Gandalf play? Possibly not, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me check. Did I put Frodo's Intuition into this deck? I did not. Okay, so that would have been handy in this instance. Even though this may be a different one to that. So I could be wrong. This one was already on my computer. Rather than downloading a fresh Octagon file. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move forward as we plan to. I think I'm going to be a bit risky, and we're going to bring in Rosie. I'm bringing in Rosie only really as a defender later, because we do have the fast hitch. Maybe it's worth bringing another fast hitch in and attaching that to Sam as well. So, yeah, there's no limit on those. Exhaust fast hitch to ready attached character. No. Let's move on from planning. There's nothing else that we can do. So, let's go to the quest. If I do 5, that will boost us into the next one. There's 1 out there. I think I may just... If I use Sam, he will be 2... Alright, Sam is at 1, leaving an additional 2 progress to be made. 1 will go on to bag end, and then the other one will go on here in the worst possible case scenario. And we will be drawing a new guy before we can take care of this. So maybe I'm going to play it safe and just put Frodo forward for 2 with 1 threat in there. We're still fairly low on our own threat. So let's move forward. Let's reveal. In this instance, when revealed, return each Nazgul enemy to the staging area. If no enemies were returned to the staging area by this effect, road like a gale gains surge. Now, we could do that, but I don't think we will. We'll let him come back up here. All right, so he comes back up. This is now at 6. All right, let's resolve that. So we've put 2 to 6. We actually gained 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I noticed there we started at 20. No, we're fine. I thought we might have been wrong on our own threat meter. So that's that done. Let's move forward. Travel. Nowhere to travel to. These places are still in play. Let's move forward. Encounter. I would like to encounter this guy once again. After you engage an enemy with a higher engagement cost than your threat, ready Sam Gamgee, he gets +1/+1/+1 until the end of the round. Now, I think that he gets it even if he doesn't ready. But let's see how we go. All right, so that's the encounter done. Pippin will draw us a card for the engagement. Oh, lovely. That's not bad. And we'll go straight to defense. So let's give him a shadow card. Sam is going to defend in this instant. Sam is defending for his 1. This would be another 2. So he's defending for 3. She's going to exhaust for another 2 to his defense. So that's 5, possibly 6 with his response. So 1, let's say the response for 2, the cape for 3, 4, and then Rosie for 5, 6. Now, the attack, there is no further action on the attack. Okay, that's something. So that's a 5 to his 5, 6, whatever we decided on. No damage is done. All right. Then I think I can use a fast hitch to ready Sam once more. And then I can use these 3 guys to attack him. We are attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 against his 4, 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And that, I believe, kills him. Well, these arrows are not working correctly for me. After Mary participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, ready another character that participated in that attack. There's not really much point to readying anyone for it, but he is dead and he's out of play. And we're ready to go to the next phase. Refresh. And then resource. Lovely. Now, here's the dilemma for me. This guy makes the game so much easier. Do I want to do it? I don't think I want to do it just yet. But I could bring in Snowborn Scout, place 1 on this, draw 4 cards. This is going to be in there when it's the active location. We can deal with that after. We could get rid of that now and then deal with this shortly. Well, first, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's Steward of Gondor get 2 out here. Now, I don't want to use any of these guys just yet, I think. Because, yeah, let's see what we're going to do. I will use one of those for the Scout. Scout comes into play. Scout places 1 progress token on a location. So we'll put it on bag end. Alright, so bag end goes into the victory display. And we draw 4 cards. So just for the sake of that, after bag end leaves play, each player draws 1 card for each Hobbit hero he controls. So we control 4 Hobbit heroes. We draw 4 cards. Right. Oh, that's lovely, actually. That's more of what I wanted to see. So, I think we're going to start leveling up here. Let's take 2 off of Mary and get the daggers out. Alright. 2. There we go. That is boosting Merry quite a bit. He's getting +1, +2 instead of it's higher. We'll deal with those as they come out. Then I will use one of these to get one of those Staff of Levithron in. And what that does, after attached hero exhausts the defendant attack from an enemy with an engagement cost higher than your threat, exhaust the staff to discard a shadow card. So that's quite handy. And we do have 2 guys in play. That's going to hurt us for the next part of the game. But let's see how we go. We're going to commit to the quest now. I don't think there's anything else that I'd like to do. I'm going to commit Sam for 3. And there's 1 out there. And then we will reveal. Actually, before we reveal, I will use the fast stitch to ready Sam. Okay. So the revelation is the crow, evil crow. So we've done 3, 2, 3, isn't it? So we've made no progress, but I can use the action here. Exhaust Rosie Cotton to choose a Hobbit hero and attribute. So we'll use Sam and the willpower. Add Rosie's willpower to that hero's chosen attribute until the end of the phase. That's going to give us an additional 2. So we've made 2 progress. That will go on the main quest. And we have now quested out of here. We're into a shortcut to mushrooms. As Frodo watches, he saw something dark pass across the lighter space between 2 trees and then halt. It looked like the black shade of a horse, led by a smaller black shadow. The black shadow stood close to the point where they had left the path, and it swayed from side to side. Frodo thought he heard the sound of snuffling. The shadow bent to the ground and then began to crawl towards him. The Fellowship of the Ring. So, to be. When revealed, the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a black rider, reveals it, and adds it to the staging area. So, let's do that first. We'll take it from the encounter deck. Here we go, and we'll close and shuffle that. Now, so we have to do a hide test. Let me just keep that in mind. What else is going on here? When a player makes a hide test, add 1 to the test, to the threat for each ally that player controls. When a player fails a hide test, each Nazgul enemy in the staging area engages that player. Trigger the forced effect after resolving this. So that would be their forced effect. They make an immediate attack. So let's do this now. So Sam, we're still in the phase. So I think Sam is actually at 5 willpower for the hide test, which I'm going to commit him to. So we're going to say 5. And then maybe we put that in for 6, 7. And then we know we have 2 for the allies in play. So maybe what I'll do is, like worst case scenario, we're getting this out with a 3. We get one of these guys out coming out, that's 4. Up to 6. And then, hypothetically, another 4 up to 10. We can't really get past that, I think. Well, we can. I'll go up to 9. I'm thinking my odds of getting 2 of these guys, and I think I can't. I think there's only 4 of them in the deck anyway. But let's do the hide test. When Evil Crow is engaged with a player, that player adds 1 to the hide value for each hide test he makes. We don't have to worry about that. So the first hide test card is the Marish. That goes up to 3. And then the next one is Stockbrook, going up by another 1. So we have done 9 to 6. We have passed that hide test. When Woody End is the active location, yeah, we don't have to worry about that. So these guys are now discarded. We've done the hide test. We've resolved everything. We're good to go to travel. I'm going to use Woody End. We'll make that the active location. That's absolutely fine. And we'll move on to the encounter card. I think I can encounter this guy safely. Yeah, we can kill him fairly quickly. We're going to encounter him. That will ready Sam. And of course, Pippin will pop off as well. Now, to bear in mind here, he has 25 threat engagement. We are at 27. However, Pippin gets +1 for each Hobbit hero you control. So I control 1, 2, 3, 4, meaning his engagement is effectively 29. That's where I'm going in this instance. Hopefully that is correct. And I assume you'll correct me if I'm wrong. So let's move forward. We are now in the combat phase. This guy is attacking. I think we'll let the Snowborn Scout take it. He's not really doing much else. So the shadow card is nothing. We are lucking out with these shadow cards so far. 0, no damage. And then when we attack, well, he's going to hit him. Mary, standard 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mary's hitting for 8, and I think that is more than enough to kill this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. And we move forward. Refresh, and then resource. And planning. No. Where are we here? So we'll do the Steward of Gondor. We'll go 1, 2, giving that to Sam. I would like to take care of this guy too. But I wonder. Oh God, I'm using cheat codes. I'm going to go 1 to get him into play. We'll exhaust him to look at the top card of the encounter deck. Let's have a peek here, see what we get. It's going to be the Green Hill Country. Excellent. When Green Hill Country is the active location, characters get +1 for height tests. Excellent. So, oh, and what was the threat value? 2, wasn't it? 2. So we could do a lot of thing here. There's now 6 coming into the staging area. So with 6 coming into the staging area, I could leave him open. This guy could take a hit. And yeah, we could see what we want to do. So Sam is. Do we want to do anything else? We know nothing bad really is coming, so we could get Faramir in, and I think I will. Not doing this as optimally as possible, I'd say, but let's see how we go. Now, let's put Sam in for 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's put Frodo in for another 2. And we'll put Pippin in for another 2. Alright. That will get past this. Yeah. I may leave Rosie open to get some more damage going on. What I will do is get Faramir in to give these 3 guys an additional 1, 2, 3. Let's try and make some progress here. Basically what I'm trying to do. Oh, I should be in commit. So we're in reveal now. We reveal. In this instance, it's going to be the Green Hills, as we already knew, thanks to Hennemarth. 4, 2, 6. We've done 4 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is added to the victory display. And we're golden. Let's resolve. We've done that. And then we're traveling. Green Hill Country. We're going to make the active location. And I'm happy enough with that. And then the encounter card. I think we'll take him. This guy's coming down to engage us. That ready Sam gives him the boost. And with that done, let's move on to combat. So he is going to attack, and I think we'll let Sam take this, knowing that we can exhaust the staff to discard a shadow card. So we can use that. That shadow card is gone. He's now hitting me for 5. Sam is defending for 1, plus his response for 2, and 3, 4 for the Hobbit Cloak. I'll take that. We know that's going to do 1 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll give Sam 1 damage, and that's fine. Then we'll use a fast hitch to ready him up. Now, we're going to attack back. We need to be attacking for 10. So this is his natural 4, plus another 2, plus another 2. So he's hitting for 8. Sam attacks back. That's the 10 required. And he is defeated. Done. Right, let's move forward. Refresh. Resource. Lovely. Now, what am I doing this time? Planning. Straightforward enough. We should be able to just make a run for it really here now. Steward of Gondor. We'll give ourselves the 1, 2. We'll use Hennemarth to once again cheat and give us the peak. The peak is have you seen Baggins? Surge and Peril. Okay. Attached to a hero counts as a conditional attachment. Limit 1 per hero. After a player fails a height test, discard the attached hero. So we don't know what else is coming. So worst case scenario, we are dealing with another Black Rider coming out. So, we'd like to make some progress. So let's say we want to do 7. Right. Is there anything else I'd like to do here? Not really. Let's go to questing. Nope. That isn't it. Sam going in for 3. Frodo goes in for another 2. Could get Pippin in for another 2 as well. Right, so, and of course there's no threat in there yet, but let's see what happens. Next thing, reveal. We knew this was coming. Peril and Surge, when revealed, attached to a hero, counts as a conditional attachment. Limit 1 per hero. So let's move on to the next one. The other one was the Marsh. Marshland. Forced. After a player fails a hide test, shuffle a Nazgul enemy from the discard pile into the encounter deck, if able. So, this attaches, and I think, poor Pippin, you're going to be taking that. Right. Resolving, we have 3 in there. 7, so we're making 4 progress. We may as well exhaust this to get another 2 onto Sam. And we might as well exhaust this to go 1, 2, 3. Actually, exhaust farmer to choose a player. Each character controlled by that player gets +1 until the end of the round. So effectively, that would be an additional 1 from here too, wouldn't it? Until the end of the phase. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I think. I may be wrong on that, but let's see. So we have made 10 progress. 3 goes on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. So this is now gone. And we are in fairly good spirits at this point. Let's move forward to travel. We may as well try and get the Marish out. Make the active location. Move forward. We have no encounter, nothing to defend against. So let's run straight through. We've got the resource. Planning. Right. Let's do Steward of Gondor. Grab 2 more. Now, let's look at what's coming up. We've got a Peril with a hide 2. If you fail to hide test this phase, remove each character you control from the quest. Ooh, nice. So really and truly, we only need to do 8 here. So 8 is our target. So Sam can go in for 3. Do I want to do anything else here? I don't think I do. I think we'll wait till the next turn to try and get these guys out. And then just massive quest push. So let's see what happens here. So first things first. Sam goes in for 3. No, let's go to the commit phase. Sam going in for 3. Frodo goes in for an additional 2. Pippin might as well go in for the 2, even though, no, leave Pippin open, I suppose, because we'll have to, yeah, because we'll have to do a hide test too, won't we? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be waiting a turn. I'll use that to ready him up as well. We'll put Rosie in for an additional 2 onto Sam. No, it doesn't really matter, I think, in this instance. But let's see what we're doing. Let's commit to the quest. Well, yeah, then we could do that. That will over-quest us, but we're doing 2 high tests. Yeah, maybe we play it safe. Let's move forward to the reveal. The reveal in this instance is a crawling towards him. Peril high 2. If you've failed a high test this phase, remove each character you control from the quest. So let's do the hide. Sam is going in for 5 thanks to Rosie, and we'll put Pippin in for another 2, which will be 7, and I think we should be safe enough with that. 2. Here we go. So 7 and no threat. The height test is passed. And then we resolve. So we did 7 to nothing. So these are gone. Which will give us 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is how to play. Cool. And we are just powering straight through to refresh and into resource and planning. Oh, I did have Frodo's intuition in this, so this must be a slightly different deck. Well, for the sake of it, let's use it. 1, 2. That'll give us a +1 for each round, and we draw 1 card for each Hobbit hero you control. Draw 4. Lovely. Oh, my friend in there too. Lovely. Some nice cards coming out here. Let's have a peek. See what's coming out. We have the Pathless Country, which we only need to quest over by 1. So we only need to commit 3 to the quest here, which I rather like. Sam by himself is going to overquest on that. So, do we need to worry about anything else? I don't think that we do. What am I doing in this instance? Maybe get Celebrian Stone out. Celebrian Stone. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Like we could start getting some guys out for help here. But yeah, it's maybe next turn is the turn to get everyone in play. Let's move on. Commit to the quest. Sam is going in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to reveal. We know what's coming. It's going to be the Pathless Country for 2 threat. 1, 2. It gets +4 quest points while in the staging area, so it has that currently. Let's resolve. 4 to 2. 2 progress made. Done. Now, we are moving on to stage 3. When revealed, add Bucklebury Ferry to the staging area. Here we go. After several close calls with the Black Riders, Frodo can tell they are hunting him. The Hobbit's only hope of escaping their danger. Oh my god, let me try that again. After several close calls with Black Riders, Frodo can tell they are hunting him. The Hobbit's only hope of escaping their dangerous pursuers is to cross the Brandywine River, if they can just make it to Bucklebury Ferry before they are caught. Then, when revealed, the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Black Rider, reveals it, it cannot be cancelled, and adds it to the staging area, and then shuffle the encounter deck. When a player fails a hide test, each Nazgul enemy in the staging area engages that player. And then we trigger the force effect, and then the response after a player makes a successful hide test, place X progress on the non-unique location. On a non-unique location in play, X is twice the number of players in the game. I always forget that, so let's do that. First things first, let's grab our Black Rider. Here we go. He comes into play. He's going to trigger a hide test for us. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can use these guys if we need to. So, first card of the hide test is a nothing, and the second one is a 2. So we have done 2 versus 6. We are absolutely fine. We have not failed. That gets gone. That gets gone. We have completed a hide test. After a player makes a successful hide test, plays X on a non-unique. This is a non-unique. That gets 2, where X is twice the number of players in the game. Excellent. So, travel phase. Well, the only obvious one is this one. So let's travel there. Make the active location. I'm just going to push this over here for now. If I bring him in, Sam could defend. We draw a card. And he's in play for the next turn. Essentially out of play. But that is quite dangerous to us, isn't it? Maybe we don't do that just yet. Let's leave him up there. Let's move forward. So I do like the idea of taking that risk and seeing what happens. Like we get the additional thing. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we're going to encounter him, readying up, and then drawing a card. Thanks to, oh, look at that, just what we needed. Thanks to Pippin. Right, let's, after the encounter card, let's go to combat. Can we get rid of him this turn? We could. Feels like we could. Right? Because, like, we can defend this with Sam. And with that defense, then we could maybe bring sneak attack Gandalf in. That's going to do 4 damage to him. Then we might even be able to get Farmer Maggot in, doing an additional 2. That might be a bit cheeky. Let's do that. So let's give him a shadow card. He's going to attack Sam. Sam defends. We're going to exhaust the staff. That gets rid of this. He's heading for 5. Rosie is going to give the additional 2 to him. So he's defending for 1, plus his response, plus the 2, so that's 4, and then plus the additional 2 from Rosie. So that does no damage to Sam. If my calculation is off, obviously just let me know. Then, let's sneak attack Gandalf in. Sneak attack. Gandalf comes in. He does 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could attack, but there's not really much of a... well, is there? I mean, Sam is at 2. Plus his 4, that would be 6. We would be doing 2 damage. That does get rid of him. But I think I prefer the idea of Farmer Maggot coming in and just beating him. So let's do that. It's the end of the phase. He comes back into play. We have the actions refresh, resource, lovely. And we'll go to planning. Let's do our Steward of Gondor for an additional 2. Let's take 3 from him to get Farmer Maggot into play. After Farmer Maggot enters play, deal 1 damage to an enemy engaged with you. 2 instead if the enemy's engagement cost is higher than your threat. So he is 35, we're at 32, and he would of course get the additional 4, so he'd be 39. So he gets 2 damage, thanks to Farmer Maggot, which I think is quite thematic here. I mean, that's, you know, Farmer Maggot does help him in the books, so he is out of play, which I'm exceptionally happy with. Then, what do we do next? I think we're going to go take these 2 off and get the stone in, put that down. That's giving him an additional 2. Let's have a peek. I know it's cheating. Well, it feels like it's cheating. I know it's luck, but yeah, it's cheating. We know 2 is coming out. And we can take a high test shortly. We don't have to overquest in this instance. Let's move on. Is there anything else I'd like to do? I'm going to lay a wine in. Get a card. Daeron's Ruins. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2. Here comes lay a wine. Exhaust lay a wine. I choose myself. Draw a card. Boom. Then we use this. Draw 2 and then discard. Nice. I'll discard Rosie. And then I'll use another Daeron's Ruins. Draw 2. And I discard a card. I will discard Farmer Maggot. Done. Now, very little else for me to do. I mean, I can get a hitch out. We can sneak attack Gandalf again if it comes to it, which we might do for the sake of getting the high test over. So let's move on to committing. Oh, I have to get this out of play as well. Yeah, we're fine though. We're fine. We know what's coming up. Crow's coming in with 2. This is in play for 3. We got 5 out there. Sam is going to quest for his natural 2 plus the 2 from the stone. So he's going in for 5. And we want to only quest for an additional 2, really. So Frodo might as well go in. So, reveal. The reveal in this instance is the crow. We have 5 out there. 5 to 5 was that. Didn't I mean to put somebody else in? Well, we might as well do Rosie to buff Sam by 2. So we've done 7 to 2. So I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. Lovely. This goes out of play. There's no threat on this or anything like that. We've resolved travel. Let's travel here. Before we travel, we'll ready up Sam with a hitch. make the active location, and then hide 3. Immune to player card effects. While there's at least one other location in play, the players cannot travel here. That's okay, we've gotten rid of those. The first player must make a hide 3 test to travel here. I'm going to commit 5, 6, 7. No, I'll leave you open. 5, 6, 7. I've got you for an additional 2 if it comes to it. Hide 3. 1, 2, 3. The hide value is 1, 2, 3, 4. Think we are safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're good. So the hide is passed. And we're good to go. All right, after this, we're going to encounter this guy. We're well above his threat, so we don't get any benefits to that. But I can at least fast hitch Sam. And let's give him his shadow card. He is going to attack, and we might as well get him to attack this guy down here. So that's going to be 0 plus return the attacking enemy to the staging area. Oh, poor choice then. All right, so that does very little for us. Let's move forward. Attack. No. Refresh. Into resource. And planning. Did 2 come out there? No, I don't think so. Bill comes out free because he's free with Sam in play. Might as well get Gandalf out, I suppose. Is there any point to doing anything here? We got to get 9 out. I think we've pretty much got it in the bag. Let's peek at what's coming. Stone or Stock Road. So 3 to 2. We're looking at 5. And we need to do 9. Right. Let's move forward and see what we can do. Well, actually, before we do that, let's go this and this to get the friend of friends out. Done and done. That's giving +1 to Sam and Frodo. So Sam is now committing to this quest for 1, 2, 3. His natural 3, his 2 for the stone, and his 1 for the friend of friends. Limit 2 copies. When another hero has friend of friends attached, the attached hero gets +1/+1. Cool. Frodo's going to do the same. His natural 2 is +1 for the friend of friends. So we're at 9. Mary might as well go in for 2. He'll go in for another 2. We might as well use a 1 for a sneak attack, pulling Gandalf. With that coming in, we might as well kill that bird with the 3 rather than doing anything else. Gandalf goes in for another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. And then these 2 are 4. Yeah. So we're at 18. We know 3 is coming. I think we're good to go. Let's move forward. Reveal. The reveal is the Stock Road. We knew that was coming. When it's in the staging area, add 2 to the total threat of discarded cards when a player resolves a hide test. Done. No issue there. And then we have to make a hide 1 to travel there. So 3 to our 18 in play. 16 done. So 9 goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that is game. After Bucklebury Ferry leaves play as an explored location, which we'll just do now, the players win the game. There we go. That is such a lovely quest in this game. I think it's just the right amount of, well, I wouldn't even say hard, but it just it flows so nice. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you caught any mistakes, and I'd say there are a few, it's been a while since I played this, just drop them in the comments or anything like that. I might try and add a few more Lord of the Rings games to the roster because it is such just a classic game. I know a lot of the other ones, like Arkham, has some great narrative ideas, and Marvel is the easiest to get to the table, but I mean, getting back to the OG one here, it's just so much fun. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. And take care of yourself. And bye-bye for now.